All right, so today we're gonna start with the slow cooker steel cut oats. I am gonna half mine. I don't know if you read through the recipe, but it's 10 servings, but those 10 servings are 2 yellows. So I usually with this kind of recipe just go with a single yellow for my serving. So I'm gonna cut it in half and that's still gonna get me 10 servings. So I don't know, I may have to freeze some of this toward the middle of the week. We'll see if any of my kids can help me eat it.
You know what? I messed up and got rolled oats instead of steel cut. Is that gonna mess me
They'll
up?
still be fine. Are they regular old fashioned?
Old fashioned?
They're not quick cooking, right?
No.
Yeah.
Old
So it's just not going to take as long.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not going to be quite as long as steel cut oats, but it's going to be longer than if it was like a quick cooking. So I think the recipe here, let's put it on here really quick.
You can still cook them overnight. That's what my boys do. Like every single day, they cook their oats overnight.
Really?
So yeah, every day.
Yeah, I think the only concern with this one was because there's sugar in it, is if you'd have some burned edges. So,
that sounds delicious.
Right? You get a little caramelization, which sounds amazing. So I would say, I'm going to start mine now. So mine are going to be done by, 3-4 o'clock. So if you start it now, you'll be done before you go to bed. If you want to get it prepped and then just do it for tonight, you could do that too.
I will say that, so we actually have a timer in our kitchen that we plug our crock pot into. So it doesn't click on until later in the evening.
Oh, nice.
And then it's ready to go. And the trick is unplugging it and letting it sit for 15, 20 minutes before you actually start. So if you get up in the morning, come out, unplug it, and then do your thing, and then come out, and it kind of lets itself release from the crock pot a little bit better.
Okay, got it.
So that there is a bit of a trick.
Yeah, and I was just gonna cook mine today and then stick them in the fridge.
Yeah, my boys don't like that.
Of course, yeah. So it really just depends. Yeah, it's funny. I actually like steel cut oats much better left over than I do on the same day.
Interesting.
Not really sure why. I think if there's a little more texture, they're less porridgey and there's just a little more texture to them. Because I'll even make, if I just make plain ones, I will add sausage and spinach and cheese and make it like a savory porridge in the morning. So
gotcha. Yeah.
All right, so we can just start accumulating this together because here's what the order today is going to be steel cut oats. That reminds me, let's get some water on the stove for the pasta to get boiling while we're putting the steel cut oats together. And then we'll go into the baked ziti and then we'll go into the marinade for the chicken. So let's put pots of water on. You only have 4 ounces, so you don't need a jumbo pot or anything unless you're making a double batch.
So I was wearing this shirt today at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And the guy checking me out asked me if it meant don't get vaccinated. And I was like, no. And he's like, what does it mean? He was like, don't get sick. And I was like, no, I was like, I wear it for my kids. It just means don't mess with me.
You're like, have you watched Schitt's Creek? Doesn't he wear a don't shirt on there?
Yeah, yes. And he did not watch Schitt's Creek, so he had no idea.
It's kind of like a nope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the hand.
You're like, I'm not making this political.
Right. It's definitely not political.
Just back off.
I didn't see your t-shirt. What does it say? Don't. Okay. I love it.
To me, it's like, don't even think about it, just don't,
Yeah.
Kim, you can wear that one to school too, because it doesn't say any bad words on it.
Not exactly positive though, or, a positive behavior intervention.
Yeah, you're right.
But,
I have one that I wear at the end of the year that says, don't make me use my teacher voice. So it's always my last day of school one. Cause I'm like, I shouldn't have to use this on the last day.
Oh my God, I am so honing my teacher voice and it's getting so much louder. Like,
Yeah.
I am learning quickly from the other teachers how loud my voice can go.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I was a lot quieter when I worked at Ivy Mount.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why.
I don't think I ever raised my voice, hardly ever there.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, I don't know, I always get Bob's Red Mill stuff, but there are quick cooking steel cut oats that are an option.
Don't use that one.
I don't know how many stores carrying, you know, outside of Bob's Red Mill is local to us. So I don't know if you get the variety we get, but it is nice because like there'll be times, steel cut oats is probably my favorite thing in the morning. And if you didn't remember to do it, then you're, you know, 45 minutes to an hour away from eating it if they're regular. So it's nice to have the quick cooking because it takes like 7 or 8 minutes to cook them up. And it's really similar in its nutrition profile. So you can just, it's much faster. So FYI, if you want to look for those when you're not using the slow cooker. Okay, well, I'm improvising on the tablespoon. There is that one. So are you guys peeling your apples or are you going just with skin on?
I'm gonna go with skin on.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'm too lazy to peel them.
Right.
I always leave the skin on.
What kind of apples did everybody get? It's apple season.
The
Honey
red kind, I don't remember.
I got Honeycrisp.
I got Honeycrisp too.
I have Gala.
Mine are either Fuji or something. I don't know. I just grabbed whatever bag I first saw.
So, okay.
Eric, this was a brand new one. You never opened it. I know, but I think we got this one.
You know, I have to say, Deanna, I love everything I've ever tried that's Bob's Red Mill.
It's so, their stuff is such good quality. And
I mean,
it's a great company too. Like they're actually employee owned and he like gave the company back to the employees when he left as CEO.
It's just crazy. Like the lentils taste better. Like everything tastes better. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know where they source everything, but it really does seem like it's just different. It's just better. And just a little FYI, I know like a lot of fixate recipes call for Himalayan sea salt. That's because of the micronutrients that are in Himalayan sea salt and natural sea salt, natural salts. So not iodized, not table salts that have been refined. And like we just have this from Costco, which it has like the grinder at the bottom. So it's really easy to have it around. And helpful tip, if you're feeling a little like, maybe depleted, had a few drinks the night before, you can always squeeze a little lemon and some Himalayan sea salt and some water, and that will help get your electrolytes up.
Oh, I don't need very much.
I think that's what Mineralize is too, right? From Beachbody.
Exactly. Yep. It's a combination of Himalayan sea salt and some other micronutrients. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll be all over that in a couple weeks. Well, some people are starting the Ultimate Reset. Gosh, what day is today? In a week.
I can't wait to hear how you guys do with that. It's gonna be so
Me
good.
neither. I'm getting more and more excited about it.
Yeah, I actually, after the nutrition call, I got really kind of excited about it.
Uh-oh, my flax seeds are not ground.
You're what?
It says calls for ground flax seeds.
Oh, ground flax seeds.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not ground, so I gotta grind them up. Here, I'll mute myself so this grinder noise doesn't. Oh, I can't when I'm on screen share. Okay, well, sorry. Well, give me a second.
Remind me to check that at the end of the game. My crock pot.
Okay.
Like the 2 hours.
One more. Oh, I forgot to turn my water on. That's hilarious. Doesn't really help if it's just sitting there on nothing. All right, how's everybody doing? I'm just gonna give this a stir. I'm gonna do the high, so it'll go for 2 to 3 hours, and then I'll just bundle it up for breakfast.
It smelled so good when I mixed it all up,
Like
even uncooked.
I know. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be really wonderful in here all day. And you could totally add some nutmeg too, with that cinnamon or like a pumpkin pie spice. If you want to switch it up a little bit. All of
I don't
those.
know who this is.
That's what I added.
The
I have
pumpkin
no idea who texted me. No idea.
777.
I don't know if it's one of my coworkers.
card.
But why would you pay all that money for a custom jersey? It says that.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, well, let me know where you're at, if we're ready to go to the next one, or you're ready, Marissa? Okay,
I'm ready.
look through the lineup here. Want to take it off the screen if we're not done throwing ingredients in.
I'm still cutting apples, but you guys can go in.
Okay, do you have everything else, Kim?
Yeah, I have everything else, so you can move on.
Okay. Stop share for a second. Okay. All right, so everybody should have some water on the stove, getting ready to boil. We'll start next with the baked ziti and spinach. So let's just start getting all the ingredients out that we'll need and get the water boiling and preheat our oven. So 375. Make sure your racks are in the right place. And I'm gonna scoot this down. So I'm gonna leave this at the 4 serving number. Again, if you're on your computer, you can change the servings by holding your mouse over it, and then you can use this toggle to change the servings. So that way you can put it to whatever you want it to be.
If you're on your iPad, you can do the same thing.
Awesome.
What do you think about like not baking it right now and baking it, like putting it all together
Yep.
and then baking it right before you're ready to serve it?
I
Like the
think you
day
could
of.
totally do that because it would just be like a lasagna, right? That you put together and then you just put it in the fridge.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, I think you could totally do that.
Okay.
How do you feel about adding ground chicken to it?
I'm
I
actually,
was thinking I wanted to do that. I almost wrote that in the recipe because there's only a half a protein in it, right?
Wow.
yeah,
And,
I'm actually, I have Italian chicken sausage that I'm adding to it.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be really good. I'm gonna grill extra chicken. So this recipe we have later for the chicken thighs, I'm gonna grill instead of doing the oven. And so I'm gonna grill extra chicken thighs then to have with the baked ziti. So that way you could have like a half a red with it. But yeah, definitely. So if you want to put in, God, I don't even know. I bet you'd probably put in maybe a pound across this. Well, that might be too much. If you did a half a pound, that would probably be half a red per serving with 4 servings in there.
I was gonna put a pound of ground beef in it, lean.
And so then you'd probably end up with a red and a half, I think, if you did the 4 servings of everything else that's with it. Because a pound of meat is roughly a red. I mean, divided into 4 is roughly a red.
Okay.
I mean, you're close in there. It's 4 ounces. On some meats, you can go up to 5 ounces, and it kind of depends on how they are. But anywhere in that 4 to 5 ounce range, you're pretty safe with that's a red. Yeah, next time I make this, I'm gonna get sausage. That's so good. Okay, so your pasta water is going. You want to get a skillet out. For the sauce.
I can't remember, is 4 ounces like a cup of pasta?
No, so, yeah, you know, it's gonna be the box divided by 4.
Okay,
But it's different than a cup. The volume is different.
okay.
I usually kind of wing it a little bit on just taking, like, you know, for the fixate macaroni recipe, that calls for 8 ounces. So that's half a box. So I just kind of go, you know, kind of wing it a bit and go off half a box.
So this should be like a quarter of a box, is that what you said?
Right, yeah. So my box is, some are 12 ounces. So you want to look at your packaging. Some pasta things are 12 ounces. So this one is 16 ounces. I just got the whole wheat penne. So then you just want to divide that into 4. Wonder if we let's dump it into a measuring thing. See how much it is.
So 4 ounces, right?
4 ounces, yeah. So this is like roughly 5 cups. So it'd be like a cup and a quarter of the pasta I have. It's kind of how it's filling
Okay,
my. This is very unscientific. It's just kind of, so I poured it into a big bowl, right, that has cup measurements.
Yes.
And so the 4 ounces for the pasta I have would be roughly a cup and a quarter.
Okay, I'm gonna measure it that way because my 4 ounces, 4 ounces is like that small. There's no way. That's not even
Right.
possible.
Yeah, because that's liquid. That's liquid
I
for
was
it.
like, that's
And
not
this
right.
is by weight. Yeah, that's what's hard about it. This is by weight.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you said a cup and a what? Quarter?
Well, a cup and a quarter is what mine's coming out to be in here.
All right, that's what I'm measuring. Getting all confused here.
Anybody else find garlic little papers everywhere in your house? Feel like these darn things never get to the garbage.
That's why I buy them already peeled.
There you go. I know I see those at Costco all the time. I'm gonna have to puree this. Thank goodness. Has anybody else made this baked ziti recipe before? Just curious.
I haven't, but it looks good.
I made it, I don't know, a couple months ago. It's really good. It's one of those things too, I find that feels like kind of one of those like cheap comfort food feel because of the ricotta in it. It feels like you're having something you're not really, it's not really on the plan. You're getting too many blues.
So my store did not have ricotta. They
Okay.
can't get it. I was just gonna put some extra cheese in, but or not extra
Well,
cheese.
I would not do extra cheese because that's going to be a blue. The ricotta is a red.
What would you suggest then? Just don't do any extra cheese?
Yeah, I mean, you could do cottage cheese if you really like cottage cheese, and that wouldn't be weird for you. I do cottage cheese and lasagna, but it's kind of an acquired taste. You know what I mean? Sometimes but I think I'd just go without.
Okay.
I mean, you could add in a little more cheese and count it as more blue. I just wouldn't do the equivalent of your ricotta.
Yes, got it.
I don't know why, sometimes it's kind of hard to find. And it's in a weird section of the store. Ours is always down the same aisle as the yogurt.
Yeah, no, they're out. They said that they haven't been able to get it for just
Oh, man.
like pumpkin. They can't get pumpkin either.
Oh, really? So you guys haven't been able to get pumpkin?
No,
That's so weird.
well, the canned pumpkin.
I know last year they had trouble with the canned pumpkin too. So when it finally came back, I just like got a couple of pumpkin cans of them and I have them in my pantry because I was like, I'm not going to live without them again.
You're like, I'm not going through this again. We are going to have pumpkin when we want it.
Yeah, because I like to make like with my oatmeal. Sometimes I do pumpkin oatmeal, so
Yeah.
I'll put like the pureed pumpkin in there. But I also like do a lot of baking, so like pumpkin roll and stuff. So I had to like delay my pumpkin roll last year, which was very sad.
I love it.
Did you cut your spinach up or just throw it in like this?
You know, it wilts down so much, so it's totally up to you. Sometimes I'll cut it because then the stems aren't quite as, you know, strong. I mean, big or stand out, but the leaves are for sure gonna just disintegrate. So personal preference. Yeah, everybody, I should say, now that we were talking about pumpkin too, we're gonna do pumpkin protein pancakes in November. So if you can find your cans of pumpkin, hold on to them for that one.
I know Amazon has them. I was just trying to support local.
I bought an extra pumpkin just so that I could do, remember how we talked about doing the chili, the turkey chili?
Yeah,
And replacing the sweet potatoes
yeah.
with pumpkin. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. I don't know when, but I'm gonna try it.
Well, and there is that recipe on the blog too, so you could see the differences. I don't believe it was very much of a difference.
But don't they use canned pumpkin though?
Now I can't remember. I think it was a pumpkin puree. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious as to it being like chunks of pumpkin
Oh, yeah.
because squash is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody else like, oh man, this entire thing is 10 ounces? It's pretty crazy how much spinach is in here.
I know, I almost only thought about putting in only half. But
Well, I'm gonna only put in half for this right now because it's like it's gotta cook down. I did not pick the right size pot. Overflowing in spinach. And then if you, we always get the big things of basil because it seems like they're the best value, and then make some pesto later. I don't know if anybody's made their own pesto before, but it's super easy.
It's super good too.
Super good.
I totally forgot the pesto, or I'm sorry, the basil.
That's
Oh.
all right. It'll be fine. You could do dried basil if you have any.
Yes, always have dry basil, but I completely forgot about getting anything fresh.
I always have a Trader Joe's basil tree in my house.
I
A
can make
tree?
things alive.
Yeah. See, it's still growing. See?
That is amazing.
Wow.
And it keeps producing, which is even better.
I inevitably forget about it. It dries out, or I use too much of it, and then I can't finish. Okay, spinach is in. My pasta is probably going to be overdone here. I have not paid attention to it. I'm pretty much creating a mess right now. I put the tomato on top of the spinach leaves and then stirred them, and then they started tomato sauce flying everywhere. It's going pretty well.
You're not really cooking if your kitchen is in a mess, right? Yeah.
All right. So when your pasta is done, it should be roughly 4 yellows, because there's nothing else in here that's going to contribute to a yellow. Okay, so I did the mix, so I have it mixed into my skillet here, and then I'm gonna load it into my baking pan and then put the ricotta in, so it's kind of more dollopy, I guess you could say, and spread it on top. But it looks like it also calls for you to put it in the large bowl and mix it up all together. So however you want to do it, it's more, it's probably also distribution wise, so that you make sure each serving is getting a decent amount in it. But I kind of like the ricotta to be like, I don't know, like you get full bites of it or something in it. Pretty. Did everybody do the red chili flakes? I forgot some of mine, but I might add some in here.
I did. I love spicy.
You guys going shopping?
Yeah.
Oh, come here, big girl. Oh, it looks good, doesn't it? Sorry, we're a little disorganized here. Jack's going to go shopping for his first homecoming pants and shirt and tie. So had to hold the dog back. Does anybody else have, like, my puppy thinks that Jack is meant to be her playmate. Like, it's the only reason Jack exists is to play with her. So like as soon as Jack comes into the room, it's all out WrestleMania. We need some training on that whole thing. Lily, how was it's Chase, right?
Yes.
How was his dance last night?
It was actually on Friday night and he loved
Okay.
it. He actually had a great time and was surprised that he had such a good time. So
Great. I know at first Jack wasn't gonna go, and I'm like, why? Just go, have fun. You've never been to a high school dance. Go do it.
Yeah. That's what we're like, just go, you'll have fun. And of course, because he doesn't have didn't have a date. And so, and didn't really want to ask anybody because he didn't really know anybody well enough to, so
Yeah,
yeah, he had fun.
good. Yeah, my son doesn't, he has no plans to ask anybody. And I'm like, just go with your friends, have a good time.
That's what he did. So,
Yeah.
it was fun.
All right, am I behind everybody or where are we at here? I'm about ready to stick mine in the oven. I'm gonna have to set a timer for this one too, so I don't forget what I'm doing.
You're totally in front of me, but don't worry. I'm keeping up.
Okay, good. I just don't want people sitting around like waiting, like, what is she doing? Stop talking and let's go to the next recipe, lady.
You're in front of me.
Okay.
So did you say Jack had homecoming yesterday or
Oh,
what?
no. Jack has homecoming in a week.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, we just had homecoming here and it was outside. And
Yeah, theirs is gonna be outside too, and they can't invite people from other schools.
that was the same as our school too.
Yeah.
And it was a complete flop, by the way. Jen on here and we went out for dinner last night and our kids are literally texting us, telling us like play by play what they're doing, not at the dance anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because they were like, this is lame, we're leaving. I mean, and that's pretty much how every kid, it seemed like, was experiencing it.
Well, that's too bad. I know a lot of his friends are going, but I'll be curious to see if the upperclassmen go, because they're all freshmen, you know, and it's new. But I think they had pretty good response. They did the same thing for prom where they did it outside. And I think they had a pretty good response for that.
Well, the tickets were limited, so not everybody was allowed to go. And of course, they didn't allow other schools. So people with boyfriends and girlfriends from other schools couldn't invite them.
Right.
And then it was from 4 to 6:30.
Oh, that's weird.
What
That's too
teenager
early.
is done doing something at 6:30
Yeah, it's too early.
on a Saturday?
Beverly, even the after party, like the second homecoming that Maddie went to, she said it was not that great either.
Well, the pictures that you showed us, it looked like they were having a lot of fun.
Yeah. There evidently was a group of kids like up on the dance floor, but I think she stayed like an hour and then she came home.
Aw. Yeah, ours went out to eat and then went to the skating rink and they were there for quite some time and then went over to a friend's house and Jacob ended up getting home by, it was 11. So.
Oh, this dish looks amazing.
It smells so good. I can't wait for dinner.
Is it dinner yet?
Right? I'm starting my timer now, 35. Now it does say cover in foil. And then remove the foil, then add the extra mozzarella cheese, then bake an additional 10 to 15 minutes. I did not read that part. I just put mine in there and went for it. So make it your own risk.
Take it your own risk.
And it's going to be a pretty hefty serving too. Let's see here. It's 1.5 cups. And then let's go down and see what the 1.5 cups, you get 1 green, 1/2 a red, 1 yellow, 1 blue, 1 teaspoon. So you add another 1/2 red in there and you've got yourself a complete meal.
Just mute, yeah.
this is it's like all the conflicting smells now. I've got the apple cinnamon oatmeal going, got the Italian garlicky smells going. All right, let me know if you're still using the baked ziti recipe. I'm happy to give a couple more minutes on it.
I actually print mine out.
You what?
I print mine out before.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, then if nobody's saying they need it, I will go to the next one. So this is the lemon garlic chicken thighs. And I mentioned I'm going to put them on the grill. I don't know, there's something about baked thighs I don't really enjoy. So I really like them on the grill much more. So I am going to throw them on the grill and cook just heat up that marinade that they're in and then baste it with them while they're on the grill so that I still kind of get that basting and the extra sauce on there. So we're going to get the marinade put together. And you can either, because I'm doing this later and there's a lot of lemon juice, I'm going to make my marinade and then I'm going to put the chicken thighs in it. What does it call for? An hour. So I'm going to do it an hour before I cook it tonight. So if you want to do it all together right now and then let it sit for an hour, awesome. Sometimes with lemon juice, it's like I don't know, it's kind of like ceviche where it kind of cooks it in a sense. Yeah. If it's in there too long. So totally up to you and your timing, but I'm going to put together the whole marinade. So that's totally done. And then you can put your chicken thighs in when you want it ready. And I thought this one would be really great over some riced cauliflower. So depending on what containers you have left or what you need to fill that day, that's gonna be really delicious over that, or even some brown rice, because you could probably just take a little of that marinade and drizzle if you cook it down a little bit. And I would expect this one's going to be really delicious leftover. So I think this would be one of those that you could totally, set it up in little dishes with a little bit of the sauce, rice cauliflower, brown rice, some other veggies.
How many lemons do you think is a half a cup?
Well, I just did one full lemon. It was fairly juicy, and I think I'm at about a quarter cup. So I'm guessing probably 2 here.
Okay, that's what I have. So I was like, I'm thinking that's what I thought, but I was like, just want to check.
Yeah, and if you don't end up with as much lemon juice, then just lower that honey down too. Because it's still gonna get over top. You're just not gonna have as much marinade left. It'll still marinate the chicken pretty well while it's in it. Yeah, I think 2 is gonna get me there.
Trying to think if I want to pick this baked ziti.
I tend to go a little light on honey in general anyway, but I think you can just go to your taste if you want to do the full amount. And how's everybody say this sauce? Someday I'd like to have the, correct pronunciation. I just call it Worcestershire, but I don't think that's right, how it's spelled. Worcestershire. I don't know.
We all know what you're talking about though.
I was gonna say, we watch a lot of the Food Network, and one time somebody was like on on some show, and she basically said, "Wash your sister sauce." So I always like in my head say it that way now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Kind of like sometimes how Wednesday I say Wednesday.
Exactly. So it's in my head. I don't say it out loud, but I always think of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Did you already clean the grill off?
Sorry, this garlic is taking all my concentration. It's like the tiniest little cloves ever.
I think I'm just gonna save the marinade, and then when I'm ready to cook dinner, like, then throw the chicken in it for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. You don't want it to be too long in the lemon juice or it gets weird.
Yeah.
How are you gonna serve it, Kim?
That's a good question. I actually got chicken tenders instead of chicken thighs.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I guess I could just throw them in the oven or maybe even stir fry them. I'm not sure. Stir fry would be good too.
You'll be fine in the oven, just like a chicken thigh with a chicken tender. Because it's really kind of a similar thickness usually. I mean, they might be a little thinner, but.
I'm gonna air fry mine.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you can get some caramelization that way too.
Ooh, I have an air fryer I've never used.
There you go.
How's your chance?
Yeah, I'm chicken.
I have convection on my oven, and I've never thought, I've been told like, oh yeah, you can air fry with convection. And I'm like, but how does that work exactly? Like, I feel like air fryers have like the option to add oil to them, but isn't it, I guess it's the exact same thing with convection.
Yeah, so convection turns a fan on so that the hot air is blowing all the way around. And so when you're doing it, it's like 25 degrees hotter. So like if you normally cook at 350 and you put your convection at 350, it's really like 375. And so like I use convection a lot, like when I'm roasting vegetables, because then it gets them caramelized on the outside more. But I bet if you turned it up even more, then you're going to be hotter and you'll get that same effect as an air fryer. I haven't tried it. I'm just saying, I bet you could.
Yeah, I mean, because I've used it with baking.
See, it's funny. I hate it with baking. I feel like the cookies are too done and dry.
Yeah, so I don't do it often.
It's like never worked well for me with like cookies or things like that. So I've just always done it with I'll do it with like if I'm roasting a whole chicken, I'll do it in the last 15 minutes to get all the skin really browned up.
I bet that is good. We when we bake our chicken for the week ahead, we use convection.
Okay, yeah.
We get it warmed up to the temperature and then we put it on convection to, I don't know. It doesn't really bake it faster.
No, I don't think it does either. I think you just get this dryness and caramelization on the outside. That's a little different, but I agree. I don't feel like it goes faster.
Well, but we bake our chicken covered so that it keeps the moisture inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean, Scott kind of does that now a lot. So he's the one that started doing that. I was like, okay, whatever. If you'll do it and it makes you happy, keep going.
And then
I don't have to do it. Works for me.
Convection is that with convection, you can put 2 racks in and you're not interfering with the heat that gets to those 2 racks. Because
we
it's
use
blowing
3 pans.
Huh?
It takes 3 pans for us to cook all the chicken that we normally cook.
And so you couldn't cook it conventionally with 3 pans in there without constantly moving those pans around. And then
which is what we did.
Yeah.
We would do we would flip them halfway through and we would rotate where the pans were so that we would turn them and we would change their positioning.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy, but that's what we do to make it work.
You do that on convection too?
No.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say you wouldn't need to on convection.
No.
All right. The marinade's good, but I'm going to put a little bit more honey in because I didn't put my full quarter cup and I need a little more. It is nice and garlicky.
I kind of feel like it should be garlic chicken.
Well, it is lemon garlic chicken.
Oh, it does say lemon garlic. Okay.
It's in there. Yeah, and so when I marinate, I tend to use like a bowl. If it's like something that's pliable, like chicken, you know, where it can move with the bowl and you can just kind of stir it around. If it's like a pork chop, then I usually put it in a Ziploc baggie, and then you can easily rotate it while it's in the refrigerator. So just get some kind of container that you're able to really cover most of the meat with, and there's not a lot of air in it to interfere. You just want to try to get that liquid touching as much as possible. And so sometimes even I'll do part of it, get it mixed around, then I'll put, you know, more chicken, more marinated, and just kind of keep mixing so that all sides get it. Oh yeah, it's much better. Okay. So I'm just gonna stick my marinade in my bowl to wait for my chicken. Okay, so I've got 16 minutes left on my baked ziti, but it smells amazing. All right, sounds like most people are cleaning up. How's everybody doing?
I cleaned up during the way. I can't handle it. So I'm working on the marinade still.
Okay, got it. I love it. That's so good of you. I am not very good at cleaning up as I go. I probably do it more with you guys than I do in real life. It just piles up. And then I just hope my husband comes and cleans it.
Honestly, if Scott was here and he would have walked in, he would have started doing the dishes because he wouldn't have been able to handle it either. So,
I love
but
it.
he is not here. He is driving with Jacob. So,
Oh, we did that yesterday. Bless my child. I haven't driven with him in a month. And he tried to like park on top of another car. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, this isn't going to work.
aww.
So I'm like, we need to drive a lot more. This month off has not served either of us well.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was for us. We had gone like too long and I was like, oh, well, let's go ahead and drive. And he's like, well, I really don't feel comfortable driving. And then it just kept getting longer and longer and longer. It's like, oh my gosh, you have to get on the road this weekend.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to start driving like just in the short treks.
Yeah.
Because confidence had been lost.
Yeah. And it's so true. And it's like, you know, I don't know how everybody else's kids are, but my kids have zero experience in driving anything. You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, I drove golf carts, mini bikes, you know, four-wheelers, whatever, right? My kids have none of that and no access to it. So it's like when they got in a car, that was like the first time driving, and it shows. So it's like, oh my goodness, we have got to get this muscle memory down. We have got to get this, you know, just thinking like you're a driver. Crazy.
See, my kid thinks that he's a race car driver already, so
If he plays Mario Kart, that's what I hear from my kids.
I'm in big trouble.
My kids are like, Mom, I'm so good at Mario Kart. I'm gonna be fine. I'm like, no. Totally not the
Fight
same.
this game.
I remember remember the first time I took Jacob out and he started to pull forward and he nearly drove off the other side, like opposite of our driveway, like off the other side of the road. I'm like, whoa, brake.
I
I'm
know.
like, okay, we need to reverse.
Yeah.
He's like, I expected when I turned the wheel that the car would turn. I'm like, you have to continue turning the wheel. It doesn't just all of a sudden go,
Right?
It's not like Mario Kart.
I know it. Bless their hearts. Well, oh boy, this baked ziti is looking good. I think I'm gonna hit it at the end with a little, what do you call it? Why can't I think? Yeah, broiler. Thank you. Little broiler. Get it all browned up on top, and then I'll throw some fresh basil on. Ooh.
Well, I think it'll be crispier because you didn't put the tinfoil on.
Probably, yeah. Which I'm all about. I like it tasting that way.
That's like the best part, is the crispy part.
Yeah. Throw a
Oh
little.
my God, I remember the old days where you got to like crush Doritos and put them on the top of casseroles like this. Like,
Ew, who put Doritos? Potato chips, but never Doritos.
oh, we put tortilla chips all the time on the top of ours.
Well, tortilla chips I could see, but not like Doritos.
Well, I mean, not like the nacho cheese ones, but
Oh, okay, got it.
but that Cool Ranch might not be bad. Oh, actually, they're all good.
Stop it, Kim. Stop it. No.
No.
What kind of chip is, what
You
kind
know,
of chip is
back
your
when I
name?
made the casseroles with cream of celery soup or something.
Right?
Oh,
We were
yeah.
talking about the other day.
Oh, yeah. I made everything with cream of mushroom soup. That was how it was like,
Yes.
I was a great cook, man.
Or cream of chicken. Ooh. Yeah. Cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, is anyone still using the recipe? I don't want to hold you on here. If we're, yell out if you are. But if you're not, then we don't necessarily have to sit and chat with each other, or I can stop the recording too, and then we can just chat.
Thank you for chatting with me while I did the dishes. That was awesome.
Yeah. Happy to do it. You want to come by and do my dishes now too?
No, but my husband would never start doing the dishes. They'd sit here for 6 months before. I was totally jealous, Beverly.
Oh, yeah, no, it's, yeah.
Does anyone have any requests for next month? We are going to do a pumpkin protein pancake. And I think I might try to do mine in the waffle maker again, see how it goes, because I really like freezing the waffles.
What about a side that we could do for like Thanksgiving?
I was thinking
Ooh.
the same thing, like
Okay,
Brussels
okay.
sprout, cranberries, roasted vegetable.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that.
Like, so you want to try it out because it won't last till Thanksgiving on the timing we'll do it. But
Are you kidding? Usually none of this stuff lasts.
I know we were joking because David went to the grocery store for me this morning, and I'm like, well, I've got dinner tonight, but this stuff isn't going to last very long. So
Except for the oatmeal. I'll probably have that for lunch all week at school.
I will have the oatmeal all week because I'll be the only one on that one. But the baked ziti won't see tonight for sure. And then the chicken will be gone too. And well, Luke takes grilled chicken thighs for his lunch. So I always grill up extra for him.
My guys will probably eat the chicken and the ziti tonight, both
Yeah.
of them, and they'll be gone. But yeah, well, they might not be done. I might be able to get one day or two out of it.
I'll look and see what I can find for some good sides too. Maybe we'll do like one of the stuffed squash because we've all been talking about the squash stuff.
That does sound good.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Oh shoot! I'm going to be on the reset. We're going to be on the reset.
We are going to be on the reset, so we're going to have to. Maybe I'll come up with an all veggie to throw in there for us.
There are some good stir fries. We could do a stir fry from the reset if you wanted.
Yeah.
Really good. All of them
Or
are really
I'll
good.
just have to make food for my family.
Yeah. Well, I'll look and see. I'll look and see if there's something that'll fit in there, be kind of Thanksgiving-ish.
Or we could do a, that roasted red pepper soup or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah, the roasted red pepper sweet potato. The only problem is that, again, I do not know how to containerize that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That would be the only thing.
I bet if you asked in the nutrition group, somebody would.
Maybe
containerize.
somebody's already done it. Yeah.
I
Or
feel like people have asked before.
I don't know.
I'll look and see if I can find it because that would be good too. Because that has coconut milk, right?
No,
Oh,
it's sweet potatoes, red peppers, vegetable broth, and miso.
oh, okay. Well, that I could maybe I'll just look at the recipe and see if I can containerize it.
Doesn't seem like, yeah, that.
Because vegetable broth won't count as anything, which is nice because it's like the chicken and beef count as protein options when they get a high enough amount. But vegetable broth shouldn't count as anything. I'll look and see.
And you could do that with, you could say if you would like to add this type of,
Well,
shredded.
it'd be really good with a sprinkled goat cheese and some pumpkin seeds on top.
Oh my gosh, you're making me
Onion.
hungry.
What, the soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would be, but you don't need any more of the.
I
It's
mean,
like-
when we're on the reset, we wouldn't do that, but I'm saying for the meal prep, people could add to it, or if they served it at Thanksgiving, you could add some toppings like that to it. It'd be probably amazing with a little bacon on top too. All right, I'll test it out and see what we can find. All right, ladies. Well, then I'll get
We
us
need to
on
take a
here.
picture.
Yeah, let me stop sharing here.
Mhm.
Hi, Michelle, by the way, and Kelly.
I know it's hard to see once I start sharing. It's hard to see who's all on here. I have to scroll up and down. All right. Make sure we don't have any reflection. Okay, we ready? Everybody cheese. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. Hope
Thank
all
you
your
very
food,
much. Thank you.
yeah, hope all your
thank
food's delicious. Post good food pics in the groups and let's see it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you
Excited
later. Have a good
Try
day.
it all because it smells delicious.
It does. I can't wait for this big Ziti to come out. I'm hungry.
Mhm.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right,
Bye.
bye.